For years, audit firms in Bangladesh's capital market operated under scattered circular with inconsistent eligibility standard and little accountability for independence or capacity. Investors relied on audited financials but rarely knew whether the auditors behind this number was actually qualified to be there. That is now changing. BSEC has issued the draft of Bangladesh Securities and Exchange Commission's Enlistment of Audit Firms and Their Partners Guideline 2026, creating a unified framework for audit firms serving listed companies, BSEC-registered entities, mutual funds, AIFs and REITs. I'm Kashfia Binte Hassan, an analyst at Lion City Advisory, and in this video, I'll walk you through who this guideline applies to, eligibility requirement for partners and firms, the enlistment and scoring process, and consequences of non-compliance. Let's start with why this matters. Firstly, under the existing law, listed issuers, BSEC-registered entities, and fund vehicles must appoint auditors from BSEC's approved panel. This guideline formally defines how firms enter that panel and how they can be removed. Firstly, firm-level eligibility to apply. A firm must have to be a CA partnership with at least 3 partners, have at least 2 partners with 5 years of practice, and ensure that the firm and all partners are FRC enlisted. ICAB membership alone is not going to be sufficient. Firms are disqualified if they or their partners have relevant criminal conviction, FRC or ICAB regulatory punishment, corruption involvement, or vested interest. Applications will be accepted annually from 1st October to 30th November. Secondly, what the firm must submit. The documentation is deliberately demanding. Firms must provide trade license, TIN, BIN, updated certificates of practice, ICAB certified partnership deed, and NBR tax clearance for the firm and all those partners. They must also disclose a full human resource organogram, office infrastructure details, 5 years of audit and non-audit work history, preceding years audited financials signed by another firm, and any regulatory sanctions in full. Additional requirements include FRC or ICAB approved audit software, CISA certification status, written policies or risk assessment materiality, and audit independence, and a capacity building program showing at least 48 hours of training per person per year. Thirdly, individual partners must also be enrolled. The enlistment process is two-tiered. The firm is enrolled and each individual partner is enrolled separately. Partners must be ICAB qualified and FRC registered, physically and mentally capable, Bangladeshi citizen and permanent resident, free from regulatory punishment in the 3 years before applying. A partner cannot be associated with more than one firm or remain outside Bangladesh for more than 6 continuous months without approval. Applications are submitted through the firm between 1st April to 31 May each year. Fourthly, how firms are evaluated. The scoring system. Once eligibility is confirmed, firms are scored out of 70 points, covering track records, human resources, infrastructures, governance policies, and financial soundness, and partners out of 30 points. BSEC then assigns firms to one of 3 panels: special audits and IPO or QIO work, statutory audits of listed companies and funds, or audits of capital market intermediaries. Fifthly, timeliness and decision-making. BSEC has 60 working days to decide on firm application and 30 working days for partners. Rejected applicants must wait until the following year. Existing firms have 6 months from gadget notification to comply and must submit annual updates every October to November. Any material change, for example, new partners, name change, or affiliation updates, must be reported within 15 working days. Sixthly, grounds of suspension or delisting. Enlistment may be suspended or cancelled for false or fabricated documents, concealing or misstating material audit information, material departure from international standards on auditing, punishment or delisting by ICAB, FRC, or another regulator, criminal conviction, failure to submit required updates, obstructing BSEC inspection or investigation. Most importantly, if any audit team member or their immediate family holds share in the audited company during the engagement, the firm can face delisting. So, what does this mean for the entire market? 3 things to stand out. Firstly, audit quality is now a gatekeeping issue. Mandatory FRC registration, scoring, inspections, and capacity building requirements mean panel membership will increasingly reflect genuine capability, not just historical association. Second, independence is structurally protected. Shareholding restriction covering audit teams and their families, along with mandatory independence reviews, make independence an ongoing institutional obligation. Third, accountability works both ways. BSEC can suspend or delist firms, while firms can formally challenge those decisions, creating a framework with both enforcement and due process. Ultimately, this guideline raises the bar for who can audit Bangladesh's capital market. For a deeper look at how these rules affect your firm or investment due diligence, reach out to Lion CPA Advisory. Thank you for watching.